You know who's good at baseball? The Atlanta Braves.
The Braves are the big dog right now.
The Dodgers are right now in a golden era.
Ronald Acuna Jr. with a tape measure shot.
You cannot deny that he's one of the most talented players on the field.
He can do things that other players can.
Betts, blast off.
He's been really locked in.
That ball is smoked to right field.
Freddie Freeman, a hitting machine.
Matt Olson is an absolute monster.
He has been on fire.
Matt Olson to the chop house. Homer 250 this year for the Braves. New single-season franchise record. Swing and a miss.
There's the roar from Big Bear.
Spencer Strider is locked in. He painted him with a fastball.
That's nasty right there.
All eyes will be on Dodger Stadium as the Braves and Dodgers battle for the title of baseball's best. Braves baseball on Valley Sports is presented by Truist. East meets West, and it does not get much bigger than this. The Atlanta Braves in Los Angeles for a 4-game set with the Dodgers. And yes, these two teams, the best records in Major League Baseball. Braves right now 4 games better than the Dodgers. A lot is on the line in this series, and we are ready to bring it to you, everybody. Brandon Gaudin and Jeff Francoeur. Look, partner, this has been thought about, dreamed about by some people for a long time, and here we go, the first of 4 with the Dodgers.
Well, especially these two teams have separated themselves in the NL. They're the juggernauts. They're the 2 freight trains that are going right now, and you'll see why. We look at the report card from an offensive standpoint. Braves number 1 in everything. The Dodgers 2 in everything. That's across the board. Then you move to pitching, and the Braves, of course, you know, look, first, second, third in majority stuff. They have the Dodgers beaten a lot, and I think that's where you feel good about the separation maybe of these two teams is the pitching advantage for the Braves.
And that's the thing. If you look at how the Braves are going to line it up, starting pitching wise in this series, Jeff, it's about as ideal as you could expect.
Yeah, they lined it up the way they wanted to. They were able to give Spencer an extra day's rest, and you have him going. Then, of course, Fried, Elder, and Charlie Morton, who's been outstanding. But I think one great thing for Spencer Strider is his last 3 starts, we've seen him mix those pitches early. Hasn't relied on the fastball as much. He's gotten the changeup, gotten the slider going early in the count. And I think versus an offense like this that's hot right now, it's going to be very important for him tonight to mix early and not fall into pattern.
And boy, is this Dodger lineup hot. They have won 24 games in the month of August, have a chance to set a franchise record with a victory here tonight on August 31st. Of course, the Atlanta Braves standing in their way. That powerful lineup that has already set a single-season record for homers. They did that yesterday. Kelly Crull will talk to the guys about that when we get back. Baseball is brought to you by your local Ford dealer. By the Xfinity 10G network, the future starts now. And by Truist, when you start with care, you get a different kind of bank.
Last night, the Braves set a new franchise record in home runs, 250 long balls on the season, and we're still in August. That power is certainly going to be on display this weekend here at Dodger Stadium. And when it comes to statistical categories, these two teams, the Braves and Dodgers, very close in so many, but the Braves certainly have the edge in home runs. Take a look at our Zaxby's indescribably good play, and this is the indescribable power and pace the Braves team is posting. 250 home runs, now the best in Braves history. It has them on pace to hit 306 homers this year. Of course, that changes nightly. And you can see the next closest team, yeah, the one they're facing tonight. They also have 7 players with 20 or more dingers, and 22 of those long balls have traveled more than 450 feet, best in baseball. An impressive milestone, and one the players say it's really just happened organically with this group.
It's pretty special. You know, everybody's so good at their approach and staying within themselves. And fortunately, we're rewarded with home runs, and yeah, it's fun to be a part of.
Definitely not trying to hit homers. I think it's just, having a really good plan and sticking to it and just trying to hit, mistakes. I think that's the name of the game, is just trying to stay within yourself and not trying to, lean towards what he's trying to do. Stay to your plan and approach and just capitalize on those mistakes.
In a few years, it'll be cool to say we did it. Hopefully some more to come, but, I just think it's a product of the at-bats we have here and kind of talent that we have in the room. I mean, you see Oso and Eddie and Ronnie leaving the yard at a pretty good clip right now, so it's fun to watch.
It is going to be fun to watch that pop this weekend. The next 4 games between the Braves and the Dodgers battling it out on the West Coast. Homers, hits, heroes, it's a playoff vibe, and a couple NL heavyweights are on the way here on Bally Sports. Lineups, first pitch, coming up next.
Can change the game in any way.
Ronald Henderson going to battle for the National League MVP.
Acuna elevated.
You cannot deny that he's one of the most talented players on the field.
He can do things that other players can't.
Rev the engines, buddy. Ronald Acuna on the cusp of history. There has never been a 30-60 season. He is 1 home run away. And he will lead things off, per usual, for the Atlanta Braves here tonight in Game 1 of this monstrous series against the Los Angeles Dodgers. The lineup is brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. You will notice that Nicky Lopez is getting the start at second base and batting ninth. Ozzie Albies is fine. This was a scheduled day of rest. Remember, he was out a couple of weeks ago with that hamstring injury. So Lopez will get the start here tonight at Dodger Stadium. On the mound, it's a guy that the Braves saw earlier this year, but he was wearing a White Sox uniform. Then he went to the Dodgers at the deadline. Lance Lynn gets the ball tonight for Los Angeles.
Well, Brandon, look at the numbers down at the bottom. 4-0 with a 2.03 tells me someone was happy to get out of Chicago about that time. But look, he's throwing less kind of cutters, and he's going more with the slider and four-seam fastball, getting a little bit back to kind of what he was. But he's got a good defense behind him, and so I think he's doing a good job of throwing strikes.
This Dodger lineup, this team has been hot. They've won 24 this month. All right, Jeff, what do you have for the Ford Keys tonight?
Be aggressive. Only 1 walk in his average per start in his last 5 starts, so he comes after you. So this Braves offense, to me, can really attack on him. And then you know what? 4 up in the column on home field is a huge part. If we go back just 2 years ago, the Braves were able to get 1, 2, 6, and 7 at home. Made a huge difference as they won all 3 of those games at home. So important to take care of business here.
Ronald Acuna Jr. digs in. We know it is late back east, but this is one you want to have a late night cup of coffee for and hang up past the midnight hour, because these are the 2 best teams in baseball, folks, and the 2 best records squaring off here on the West Coast. And off we go with the first pitch, low and outside. And this comes at the end of a long trip. The Braves 3 in San Francisco, won 2 of those. Swept the Rockies with ease. All setting the stage for this matchup. 1-1.
And you think about it, the Dodgers swept the Diamondbacks here pretty easy, 3 straight games. So, I mean, these teams keep feeding off each other and keep winning.
It was a very easy sweep of the Diamondbacks over the last 3 days. They outscored them 23-5. The Dodgers did. They won 7-0 yesterday. They come in with all sorts of momentum behind Dave Roberts, their 51-year-old skipper. Fastball high, 2-2 from Lance Lynn, making his 6th start in a Dodger uniform since coming over from the White Sox on July 28th. Does not get the call there, down in the zone. Dan Bellino is calling the balls and strikes tonight for the 4-man umpiring crew.
Acuna hits this hard and by Betts. And a great start for Atlanta.
How many times do you see that? We've continued to talk about Ronald Acuna and Mookie Betts going back and forth with MVP. Look at that. That pitch is on the inner half, and he just pulls those hands in. It doesn't get big. Look, he took his swing on the 1-1, fouled it off, and then he kind of got back in the count. Mookie's quick out there, couldn't even get to it.
Ronald maybe with a little extra pep in his step tonight. He got married this morning to his longtime girlfriend Maria. They had a small private ceremony. They have a couple of kids together. They got engaged back in January. They didn't want to make a big hoopla, big fuss about it, but how about that? Married this morning and now playing in this ball game tonight.
I don't know what to say. I mean, why not, right? You're in LA, I guess.
So congratulations to Ronald and Maria. And he starts off as a married man with a single to right field. Meanwhile, Michael Harris fouling this pitch off from Lim. 1-2. So Harris had been moved back to the 9th spot in the order with Ozzie always returning, but Ozzie getting the night off, just resting. And here he grounds it to second. But Michael able to beat it out. That toss from Betts was just a little wide of Rosario. So they only get one.
Well, usually to double up guys like Michael, it's got to be quick. And that ball was hit a little bit off the end. And like you said, Betts right here, kind of too far away to really get something on this throw. And good speed by Harris.
And now Austin Riley digs in.
You know, good thing, I think, talking to Snip before the game, though, Ozzie feels fine. It's more of a load management thing, and he'll be back in there tomorrow night.
And with a lefty pitching tomorrow, you'd rather sit him tonight, right?
Yeah, with the lefty pitching, you want him in there. That's why he played last night, too. But I think this way, you got him 3 games in Colorado, get an off night, you get 3 games here. The rest of the time in L.A., you go home, get an off day, and then I think you feel that he's ready to go.
And the Braves didn't get to the hotel until about 1:30 Pacific last night, so pretty quick turnaround. As this one is fouled straight back, 1-2. But certainly the Braves, people talk, Jeff, about that Rocky series being a trap series. Obviously the Braves didn't see it that way.
No, they dominated.
Absolutely dominated Colorado, just like they did in Atlanta earlier this year. In the 7-game season sweep of the Rockies, the Braves outscored them 64-20.
I guarantee they were glad to see Atlanta lead.
A lot of teams are typically glad to see the Braves leave. One misses the outside corner, 2-2. For Lance Lynn, this is his 6th major league team. I mentioned he's 36 years of age, starting to show that a little bit in his beard. Played for the Cardinals twice, the Twins, Yankees, Rangers, White Sox, and now the Dodgers.
I always laugh. Did you hear what song he came out to warm up to?
I missed that.
Country Boy Can Survive.
That seems fitting. Played his college ball at Ole Miss. Did Lance Lynn, was a first-round pick way back in 2008. Michael breaks for second, but he will have to return. Well, when you played in series like this, Jeff, did you feel a different kind of juice and energy?
Yeah, I think it's good. Look, both these teams have played each other so many times now in the playoffs the last 3-4 years. So there's a lot of, you know what the other opponent's going to do to you.
Riley hits this pretty well to left. However, Peralta is over to grab it in front of the track, and there are 2 away.
Like anything in a long year, to be able to have a series like this where you feel a little extra juice, and as we've talked about, most people believe that these 2 teams, are kind of on a line to collide in the NLCS. I would throw if Philly can get hot at a certain time, could be a team that's tough, but ultimately, up and down, the 2 best teams are right here.
The Dodgers at 83-49. Second best record in baseball behind the Atlanta Braves at 87-45. Dave Roberts said yesterday when they asked him about this series, look, the Braves have been the best team this year. They've been the class of baseball since the beginning. We're getting hot. Feels like his team needs to prove something. And Matt Olson swings through an offering upstairs, 0-2.
So that's the cutter. You see his fastball 93, 94, more of a four-seamer, and then he's got that cutter at 90. And he likes sometimes to throw more to lefties just to get him off that fastball.
2 down, Harris over at first still, and that one misses up and away. Matt Olson 4 for 19 against Lance Lynn in his career, and trying to avoid ending the top of the first here as he fouls that one off. Spencer Strider pacing and waiting for his opportunity to take the mound at Dodger Stadium. Missed off the outside corner. Moans and groans here at Chavez Ravine.
It was close, but if you go by the K box, it was just off.
Full count, so Michael Harris can start his wheels. It won't matter. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and Strider will come out in the bottom of the first inning. On to the bottom of the first in the first of 4 games between the Braves and Dodgers. Los Angeles lineup. This is what Dave Roberts rolls out, brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. And it starts with a bang. Mookie Betts and former Brave Freddie Freeman have been so good in the month of August, spearheading this 24-win month. And on the mound for the Atlanta Braves, a guy who has also been very good, especially this month, Spencer Strider.
Yeah, well, Brandon, he's on his best 3-start stretch of the year. Last 3 starts, 21 innings, only 7 hits, only 1 run with 25 Ks. So he's done great work.
And he faces Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts, who is just having an unreal August. He is hitting .454 this month with 9 homers and 26 driven in. That's the thing, too. Not only do you have the 2 best teams, right now you have the top 4, what would be if the season ended today, vote getters for the MVP in the National League.
Yep.
This guy, Ronald Acuna, Freddie Freeman, and Matt Olson. And it was thought to be Ronald Acuna's award, but with how hot Mookie Betts has gotten as of late, people have been talking about this guy as possibly getting that MVP award. Strider with a 3-1 pitch. And he missed upstairs at 99 miles an hour. In the last 2 games, he had really limited those walks. Just 1 walk in each of his last 2 outings. But he walks Betts, and now here is Freddie Freeman.
Man, just that right there is kind of, to me, what has helped Spencer these last 3 games, especially versus guys like Freddie, just mixing in that slider first pitch to get a strike.
And that one downstairs, 1-1. So a couple of sliders from Strider to Freeman. Jeff gave you the numbers, but over the last 3 starts, Spencer has looked like a Cy Young candidate for sure. And hoping to continue that hot pitching here tonight. Upstairs, 2-1. In those last 3 starts, Spencer faced 75 batters, gave up 7 hits, and just 1 run. This ball laced to left center, and Harris grabs it off a bounce. They are at the corners with nobody out.
Freddie, we've seen him do this time after time. The harder you throw, I hate to say it, Freddie's so good, it's almost easier for him. He just drops the bat head on it. 51 doubles this year so far.
When he gets 52, it will tie the Dodgers franchise record. And off the bat, he probably thought he had a double there, but not to be. But Dodgers are in business. And now the catcher, Will Smith.
I think he's still got a month left in the season.
Yeah, it's August 31st. There's a strike, so maybe Strider can bounce back here against Will Smith. 0-2. Will Smith made his first All-Star team this year, having a solid season for LA. Fouls it off.
Yeah, like anything, you walk the first guy. Freddie got that. Now it's damage control. Even if you give 1 out here or 1 run, not a big deal.
Good comeback as he strikes out Will Smith. That's a big first out here in the first for Spencer Strider.
And that's the difference. There's very few guys in this game that can just flat throw it by somebody, and a guy like Will Smith, and he just beats him to the spot. So when you do get first and third, you do get in trouble, you can go to that and get outs.
99 from number 99 there to take care of Smith, and now here's Max Muncy. And that pitch outside. Like everybody else for the Dodgers, Max Muncy has been hitting the ball well this month. He's had an extra base hit in 8 straight games. And the Dodgers franchise record is 9. Strider gets him to swing through a fastball, 1-1. Betts at third, Freeman at first with 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. Ground ball. Lopez stops it. Can the Braves get 2? They will not. But a great play by Lopez as the Dodgers grab a 1-0 lead.
Wow. That was full extension by Nicky Lopez. This ball's hit hard. And then to almost turn to. That was not that far off. Great play.
Nicky Lopez making his first start at Dodger Stadium, and what a start to his first start. And then Riley takes care of business there, but the Dodgers strike first.
Ahead of the second, 1-0 Dodgers, and we're going to take you back to May 22nd. Marcell Ozuna, everybody knows he's got that long backswing. Smoked Will Smith. Caused a little something, and Brandon, we were on the bus this morning. wondering, does it happen again?
Yeah. Yep. Marcel apologized. You
He
saw
did.
it, but Will Smith did not take too kindly to it. And so it will be interesting to see if something comes of that here over these 4 games.
And it looks like he's scooted back a little more if he's smart.
First pitch, Marcell Ozuna laces it to center field. Talked about how hot Mookie Betts has been for the Dodgers, but right behind him is this guy. Marcell Ozuna is just having a tremendous month of August.
Yeah, 109.7 off the bat. And you see something right down the middle, and again, he is staying through the ball. And that's just squared up, back up the middle. Just continues his good work.
Had a couple of homers in Colorado, and Marcell has now hit safely in 26 of the last 27 games. First pitch to Eddie is skied to right center.
Boy, did Eddie just miss that.
So an eventful first 2 pitches in the second inning. I think Eddie knows it too.
He threw the bat and kind of put his head down in disgust. That's the thing with Lance Lynn. He's going to give you some pitches to hit now. He comes after you.
He has allowed 34 home runs this year, and that is the most in Major League Baseball. Sean Murphy, the catcher. Now, since he's come over to the Dodgers, even though he hasn't lost a game, Lynn has still given up 6 home runs through his first 5 starts.
Well, for Lance, considering he's not walking people, a lot of those, I'm guessing, were probably solo shots, not a lot of damage.
Yeah, that's been his saving grace. Sean Murphy's trying to figure out Lance Lynn, though. He does not have a hit against him in 13 at-bats in his career. 0 for 13. And that comes inside and hits it. That is the 7th time that Sean has been hit by a pitch in the last 15 games that he has played in.
And that was a backup curveball, though. You don't mind getting hit on those sometimes.
Well, now you've got 2 on with 1 out. I don't know what it is as of late, but Sean has just been a magnet.
Yeah, it's incredible.
And here is Orlando with a chance for the Braves to strike right back. Skies this, but this is going to reach the seats. At Dodger Stadium, a beautiful setting for a ball game. San Gabriel Mountain Range beyond the outfield. And a gorgeous night, mid-70s.
Told you it took you down to the grasses. It's like turf, isn't it?
It is.
Put a little ball down, hit a little 8-iron stinger.
All the guys were raving about it, how well manicured it is. Orlando late on the fastball. You know, I obviously, watching games on television, knew the seating capacity, but you don't realize how big it is until you get here. Seats 56,000. Big park. Crowd still filing in. Sometimes the traffic in this area, if you haven't heard, can be a little difficult.
Really?
Yeah. Took us an hour to get here from the hotel.
Yes, it did.
And Orlando battling another foul ball. Orlando yesterday, his 16th home run. That is a new career high for the Braves shortstop. And his home run was also the 250th this year for the Braves, already setting a new single season franchise record, and we are still in August.
Yeah, that's a good job. Those are the ones you got to lay off. They look good coming out of his hand because it's not like 98, 99, so you feel you can catch up to that ball. That's where he gets a lot of swing and miss.
And the same thing, and Orlando lays off again to even the count. Nicky Lopez next. Braves with a tying run at second base. And now the count is worked full by Orlando Arcia.
Yeah, 3 straight fastballs, 2 up in the zone. That one he tried to come in and sinker.
And now the payoff from the right-hander. Back our way.
He's about 15 feet in front of our booth. We are in prime foul ball territory.
We are.
It's a great vantage point right up here at Dodger Stadium. Orlando finally puts one in play. And he is out at first. Boy, I thought he beat it. I think Orlando thinks so too.
Phil Cuzzi went with the old juke, man. He started to go safe and then went out. It looked like to the naked eye that he beat it.
Yeah, Walt wants to review it. Muncy did not have a ton on this throw.
Oh yeah, watch Phil Cuzzi here too. Look, he gets ready to put the hands out like safe.
Atlanta is challenging the
Look at
outfall
that.
at first
Put them
base.
together.
The previous play is under review.
He drops the old out. Yeah, he beat it.
Yeah, the bases are going to be loaded here, barring some strange turn of events.
Just got to tell him, Phil, go with your first instinct, man. You had it right.
After review, the ruling on the field is overturned. The runner is safe. Atlanta will retain its challenge.
And there you go. They are loaded with one out.
I think maybe that's what EY's telling him right now. You had it, man.
Good pickup by you. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, I saw because it looked like he was getting ready, and then he just punched him out.
Changed his mind mid-call. But the call gets corrected, and now an opportunity here for Nicky Lopez. Of course, when Nicky came over from the Royals and Ozzie got injured, he had those first 2 games where he was so good, had 7 hits, drove in 8 runs. Now getting another opportunity here tonight.
Yeah, and this is where you love having him up in these situations because you got a guy that's not going to overpower you. And Nicky's got that great ability. He's going to try to shoot that ball to the left side. Got Rosario playing way up the middle, so Nicky's got that whole left side.
And 3-0. Oh, they gave it to him.
Come on.
Dan Bellino a little generous there, helping out Lance Lynn.
Wow.
Nicky's not that tall.
No.
And he fouls this down the left field line, so the at-bat totally changes with that call.
No, it does, because he came back with that same pitch to cut her in, and as a hitter, you feel like, well, he just called one there a lot higher.
Lance Lynn already sitting at 43 pitches. And pitch number 44 is outside. He's only recorded 4 outs and needed 44 pitches to do it. Big pitch here early on in this game. And Nicky fouls it back. On July 15th in Atlanta, that's when Lance Lynn started against the Braves with the White Sox. He got into the 6th inning, gave up 4 runs, a couple of homers, and he's in a pickle here. And it is a walk with the bases loaded. Ozuna will stroll home, and the game is tied at 1.
And I'll be honest, Brandon, I'm very surprised with that pitch selection in that scenario with 1 out, knowing that you had Ronald Acuna on deck. Surprised he didn't come with either that fastball or the cutter in.
But Nicky Lopez will take the free pass, give him an RBI, and now the Braves a chance to take the lead with Acuna coming to the dish. We talked about Lance Lynn and his control. In 4 of his last 5 starts, he's only walked 1 batter. He got a big walk there with the bases loaded, and now he faces Ronald Acuna Jr. Inside 1-1.
If you get married today, you got to hit a granny, right?
And what if he did that on the day he got married for the 30-60 season, the first ever? That'd be a pretty good way to do it.
It's lining up.
Inside again. Well, Lance Lynn, a little out of control right now.
And about to be his 50th pitch coming up, and he's only been able to record 4 outs.
Certainly not what Dave Roberts was hoping for in game 1 of a long 4-game series. And Ronald may have chased ball 3. So those 2 pitches in, then you get that away. What's Ronald thinking here?
That's kind of what he's trying to do, I think, with him, is get him to expand by showing him in.
Ronald hammers this to left center. That ball is history. And Ronald Acuna Jr. just made history. He has Major League Baseball's first ever 30-60 season, and he does it in grand fashion. And Atlanta has a 5-1 lead. And oh, by the way, it's only August 31st. What a milestone for Acuna.
Great call, Brandon. Great call. This was a pitch that was a little bit up in the zone, and man, Ronald just kind of tomahawked this thing. First player in MLB history, and he's got another month left. Shows you how quick he got to 30-60.
And he does it less than 12 hours after getting married. What a day.
Yeah, why not?
What a day for number 13. If you didn't hear us talking about that earlier, he got married in a small private ceremony earlier today to his longtime girlfriend.
110 off the bat, 429 feet for Ronald.
A very typical Ronald Acuna Jr. home run to become the first ever in Major League history to have a 30-60 season. Pretty special.
And this ball lined up the middle. Rosario takes it right off the dirt for the second out. This thing was a no-doubter.
Yeah, he'd gone 2 sinkers in, and then he went with that cutter. And then just up in the zone for Ronald. Oh, wow. Look at Wash give the fist pump. That was beautiful.
His 3rd career grand slam, his first since the 2021 season. And one he will never forget. Well, we said Lance Lynn is prone to give up homers. He has now given up his jersey number, 35 of them, most in baseball. And the 35th was a loud one. And now Riley, center field, pretty well hit. Get out of here. Yes! And Atlanta has a 6-1 lead.
I think this place is a little stunned right now. Hanging curveball. I mean, that's the thing. You just, with this offense, you've got to throw quality pitches. And if not, you're not going to get the ball back. And here the Braves struck for 6 in the second inning. Go back to Ronald, too. I mean, this is, you know, a lot of talk with Mookie Betts taking over that MVP race and stuff like that. You know, these 4 games, there's going to be a lot of eyes on a good way to start kind of staking your claim. 2 hits and one of them a granny.
And you can say in the media all you want that you're not thinking about that, you don't hear it. I truly believe that Ronald Acuna is not sitting out there thinking about that, Jeff, but it's got to be in the back of your mind, right? You hear the noise.
Well, for sure. And I mean, look, you play for the team, but to win an MVP is pretty special.
On a couple of bounces, Betts has this. It retires the side, but boy, was the top of the second eventful. Ronald Acuna Jr. adding to his MVP resume. Stamping the first ever 30-60 season in baseball history. What a response by the Braves after the Dodgers scored in the bottom of the first. 6 runs at the top of the second. This was the big blow.
Freddie just grasps his hands. It's like, yep, I've seen that before.
What a great look that was. And what a moment for Ronald. But still a long way to go. And now Strider, after sitting over in that dugout for quite some time, will face Jason Hayward, another former Atlanta Brave. Starts him off with a strike. Hayward, first year with the Dodgers, turned 34 a couple of weeks ago. He's having a bit of a bounce back year. It's been a good piece for them. At 262, 13 homers, 35 driven in.
Well, and I think he's being used in the right situation. Dave Roberts doing a good job. You know, and I think like anything,
you know, the Cubs team got really young, and for him, you come over, him and Freddie obviously were close friends for a long time. You get around Mookie, you get around other veteran guys, and I think he's kind of got rejuvenated too.
Played with Freddie, of course, in Atlanta from 2010 to 2014, and now, as you say, reunited here with the Dodgers. Two balls, 2 strikes, and this one will be bounced foul. Good pitch. Spencer Strider with a great changeup to take care of Jason Hayward.
Yeah, and that's where, again, he's gotten so much better, Brandon, is the ability to do this.
Nah, you don't have to throw it often, but, and it doesn't even that pitch is up in the zone, but when you throw 99 as a hitter, you're going to pull the trigger quick. All it's got to do is be around the plate.
Second strikeout for Spencer tonight, 238 of them on the season. That is 36 more strikeouts than anybody else in Major League Baseball. Now James Outman takes a fastball downstairs. Strider remains on pace to break the Braves' modern era record for strikeouts in a single season, which is at 276. It's John Smoltz back in the 96 Cy Young season.
Sorry, Smoltzy.
Sorry, Smoltzy. He's coming for you. Well, they say records were made to be broken.
I know, I love, people always say that, but like, you know, the people holding them, do they really want it broken?
No, but they're still made to be broken. Except for Cal Ripken's consecutive games played streak.
Book that one.
I think that one is safe for eternity. And another strikeout, 100 that time from number 99.
Yeah, that ball was just beat him to the spot.
I love when Strider gets the strikeout and then pivots on his foot like that.
Gets a little. It's like in golf, the club twirl.
Yeah. Did you have one of those yesterday at Butler National?
You know, I wish.
Been busy for you. You saw a great Cubs-Brewers game.
Yep.
Right now, good battle in the Central Division. Different in the West and the East. These two teams have just commanding leads. The Braves up 13.5 games and the Dodgers 14.5. And Michael Busch, 1-2 now.
Man, I think this is just a little the area, the bottom part of the lineup for the Dodgers, even though they've been so fantastic. There's some outs there that if you make quality pitches, you can go to.
And that's the difference, I think, between these two lineups, right?
It is. I would think so. Just that bottom part, you know, for the Braves, it kind of continues through. You know, look, there's some good players. There's some good, but like I said, there's some outs there too. But if you make quality pitches, you don't have to work as hard as you do the top part.
Spencer trying to strike out the side. Yes, he does. 100 painted on the inside corner to take care of Michael Busch. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. On to the third. Let's have a look at our Georgia Drive Chevy on the road feature. You look at just the month of August. The Braves on the road this month, over 7 runs a game, 31 homers.
Yeah, and their 55 run differential is the best in MLB. Next best is Houston at plus 45. Of course, one reason you love the Braves' chances, 2 best road record in MLB. And you're showing it on this trip again, 5-1 and up 6-1 in this game.
Well, these two teams are 1-2 in so many different categories, not just in the National League, but across Major League Baseball. As Ozuna grounds out to short here. And home and road record is another one of those areas. The Braves, as you said, have the best road record in baseball, and the Dodgers,
46-21 this year at Dodger Stadium. That's the best home record in baseball.
Number 8, Eddie Rosario.
It was kind of a tale of 2 different innings there. But Strider's only needed 32 pitches to get through the 2 innings where Lynn needed 60. And look, they both played 3-game series. You know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, they both obviously played the weekend. So, you know, it's one of those things. You can get to that bullpen early today. You can try to slowly wear them down a little bit going into the weekend.
Good news for the Braves, you know, you go to Colorado, you never know how that's going to fare, how much you're going to need your bullpen. The Braves got 6 innings from all 3 of their starters.
That was huge.
Darius Vines yesterday getting the win in his Major League debut.
Yeah, congrats to him. It's amazing the amount of starters the Braves have had come up this year. They've just done a great job. If I remember right, yesterday with him coming up, right, was the 16th, tied a record for the Braves going back to, what, 17?
2016 was
16. That's when I was there.
Yeah. And that was a year you guys only won 68 games.
Yeah,
and
we were better than that.
This one softly to short. Close play, but Eddie is out. So Rosario at short throws out Rosario at first base.
Well, Brandon, I was talking about 7, 8, 9 when Spencer Strider was throwing the Dodgers, and I'm going to just kind of show you the difference here of what you see with the Braves compared to the Dodgers. And that's kind of what you talk about, being able to, you know, do it on the bottom part of the lineup. Last inning, Murph got hit by a pitch. RC got the, granted it was an infield single, and Nicky Lopez had a bases loaded walk. So, you know, in RC's ground ball like that, I think you're just seeing, you know, the strikeouts. When you put the ball in play, man, it is huge. You force that other team to have to do something, you know, and for all the great analytics and stuff that's come along, you know, the one thing that I think you can't measure is when they would say, hey, an out's an out. Well, I disagree with that.
You put the ball in play, you force that defense to do something. You strike somebody out, they ain't got to do anything.
And we've talked about that strikeout improvement this year for the Braves. It's just monumental. Going from second worst in baseball to you're the top 7 in baseball in fewest strikeouts per game.
You know, it was interesting. I did the Cubs Brewers Tuesday night, and Craig Counsell was talking about this Braves team and how obviously dominant they are. But he said they went on a 9-game win streak, and he said, well, they'd struck out the least amount of baseball. And he said, we watch the Braves do it all the time. The little dribbler, and then someone pops one. And he's just like that. That's the difference, you know, than just striking out, and it's a free out.
And you're right, that second inning, the perfect example. The hit by pitch, the infield single, an RBI walk, and then Acuna hits a grand slam.
And then you just turn that lineup over to the horses who you want out there.
Payoff pitch, grounded foul. We will do it all over again.
But that's what you talk about, career year for Ronald. Strikeout percentage way down. Career year for Matt Olson, strikeout percentage way down. You know, you're giving yourself more opportunities by putting the ball in play, and both those guys are so talented and so strong that they're going to take advantage of it.
This one is skied down the first base line, and it is going to be taken by Mookie Betts to end the top of the 3rd.
Three 6-1 Braves. Spencer Strider back out, and Nicky Lopez back behind him in his first ever game here at Dodger Stadium. And he told me the very first thing he did when he got here today was make his way out to the field and just really soak it up. He goes, so much history here. It's pretty special to be playing on this field, and I kind of got a tip that I was going to be starting today from Ozzie, and that's what I'm here for, to give these guys a day off, however many days they need, and Nicky has been filling that role so well, guys. That stop earlier in the game, my goodness, what a defensive play from Nicky Lopez.
And that's why he's in there. I mean, that's why Alex Anthopoulos went and got him for those situations there. Yeah, he's had some good offensive moments, but that defense right there has been, you don't lose anything.
And it's been fun to see how quickly the teammates have just grown to really like him. Of course, on the field because of what he's done, but in the clubhouse.
See him on the bus, on the plane. The guys just really gravitate to him.
Well, he's embraced his role. Well, you know, it's tough. You come over as a guy. Look, they got 9 guys that, for the most part, are playing every single day. You know, there's the platoon when you look at Rosario and Pilar. Outside of that, you know you're not going to go much. And so when you buy into that concept and being a part of this team, you know, guys, like you said, guys want to go to that.
Speaking of guys named Rosario, this is Ahmed Rosario. He came over from Cleveland at the trade deadline in exchange for pitcher Noah Syndergaard.
And when Gavin Lux went down, they tried to fill it with Miguel Rojas and just offensively weren't getting a whole lot. You know, and goes back. That was a big, injury for them when your starting shortstop goes down. You know, they had Seager forever, then Trey Turner, and they really were excited about Lux, and fortunately it happened.
Ground ball to second. There is Nicky Lopez. As Kelly said, his first game tonight at Dodger Stadium, making another play.
It's cool the first time you come here just because of how big this stadium is. You know, like I said, it's different. This is your first time here today. When we drove around, you got to see it sitting down in that bowl. And, of course, the playing surface is awesome. It's great weather to grow grass out here, too.
Yeah, not too shabby. Park, the oldest one west of the Mississippi, opened back in 1962. Of course, the 2 stadiums east of the Mississippi that are older than this one, Fenway, which opened in 1912, and Wrigley in 1914.
No balls and 2 strikes to Mookie Betts.
You know, it's funny, you give Spencer an extra day's rest, man, and you can just tell he gets something extra on that fastball. He's letting it go. He's sitting 99 to 100 tonight. You're not seeing many 97s.
Hit 100 on that last pitch. Gasses this one in at 99. And Harris takes it for the second out. So to start the game, Betts walked, Freeman singled. That set the stage for Muncy's RBI groundout, but since then, Spencer Strider has been locked in. And he induces a tapper right back to the mound, and it's another 1-2-3 for Spencer Strider. Braves baseball on Bally Sports is presented by Truist. Game one of a 4-game series featuring the two best records across Major League Baseball. And the difference right now is a 6-run top of the second from the Atlanta Braves, who lead Los Angeles by 5. Brandon Gaudin, Jeff Rancour, Kelly Kroll with you from Dodger Stadium. Well, back in Atlanta, it is 11:10 Eastern, and we appreciate everyone staying up late with us here on a Thursday night.
Except my kids, they better be asleep.
They should probably be asleep. There can be an exception, though, right?
Tomorrow night, Friday night, it's the showdown.
That's right. Everybody get locked in for Kaiser Permanente. Well, we talked about Lance Lynn's pitch count, Jeff. 75 now here in the top of the fourth. An opportunity, if this trend continues, for the Braves to really dig into the Dodger bullpen and set themselves up nicely in this series. Orlando grounds it foul.
You always just wonder in a game like this, too, if the Braves keep it at here, even extend it. You know, if Lance goes 4 2/3, and then you bring that one guy in for 3-4 innings to kind of mop it up unless you get back into the game. That's the hard thing is you're Dave Roberts right now. You're sitting in and you believe in your offense, but you're also watching what Strider's doing out there on the mound right now, and it's not easy.
Grounder to third. There's Muncy. So 5 in a row set down for Lance Lynn.
Number 15, Nicky Lopez.
And here is Nicky Lopez. We've seen him flash the leather defensively, and he had the RBI walk with the bases loaded in the second inning. And as we told you at the beginning of the broadcast, not only do the Braves have Strider going tonight, you've got Fried tomorrow, Elder Saturday, and Morton Sunday. The lineup you would hope to have here against the Dodgers.
Let me tell you, to be able to go 5-1 so far on a West Coast trip, and then come in here in a big game like this after getting in late last night, it's been impressive to see what these guys continue to do night in and night out.
Two outs. Our Synovus Get There feature features this guy, Ronald Acuna Jr. Here's the grand slam.
Favorite thing is seeing Wash in the background. Give the old fist pump right away, knowing that was 30 and 60.
Quite a bit of emotion there from Acuna on that grand slam. Maybe as if to announce, hey, the leading MVP candidate resides in Atlanta.
Or I just got married.
Or that too, yes. Or both. Well, Lance Lynn has settled in after giving up the 6 runs. He has now set down 7 Braves in a row. What a start it has been to the career of Spencer Strider. Look at our Xfinity Game Changer feature. He became a starter May 30th last year. And you look at where he ranks across Major League Baseball since, Jeff. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves.
Yeah, Cole's the next closest in strikeouts at 374. The Braves are 34-12 in his 46 starts, best record in baseball. And you really think going to the playoffs, man, him, Max Fried, you got 1 and 1A, and you can do whatever you want.
And then you got a couple of guys behind him that are pretty good too, and Elder and Charlie Morton.
Again, that's what we showed you on the open. It's not just the offense, but when you really flip the script and you look to the pitching, that's where the Braves separate themselves from a lot of teams too.
Well, excluding tonight, Strider, Fried, Elder, and Morton combined their last 13 starts. They are 12-0 with a 1.56 ERA.
Yeah.
Talk about getting locked in. Painting the outside corner 1-2 to Will Smith. There's a strike on the outside corner again. Takes care of him. Strider with a slider, and he has 5 more strikeouts tonight.
That's the hard thing. When you get ahead like that, you're painting that fastball away, and then he throws that pitch. You couldn't place it any better. You just lock him up.
So Smith has struck out twice, and now here is Max Muncy swinging right through the fastball.
This is something, too. If you're Rick Kranitz, if you're Schnitt, you absolutely love. When you give your horse, you give one of your aces a lead like this, you want to see them attack. That's exactly what he's doing on this offense right now. First inning, he had a little trouble. He got the big strikeout of Smith, and then great play by Lopez to limit the damage, give up 1, and now he is straight coming after these hitters.
So far in this game, Strider's faced 12 batters. As you said, the first 2 reached, but since then, the next 10 have not.
Yeah. But you've got some early contact, too, when they are putting it in play. Soft.
Ring him up. 100, top shelf.
Perfect placement. There's one place Max Muncy does not like the ball. It's up there. That's another thing to be able to execute that pitch and get it up there.
And now the veteran David Peralta with 2 out and nobody on, and another 100-mile-per-inch pitch from Strider. And you're right, Jeff. There's been no drop-off on that fastball.
No, it's feeling pretty good.
He's now thrown 7 straight first pitch strikes to these Dodger hitters, and there's another strike.
Well, we've seen it. All these hitters right now 0-2, 1-2. And when you got a guy like Strider, whose fastball is that, but then you also see him drop in the changeup slider. He's in a slot right now.
Way upstairs, and Peralta not chasing.
Spencer already with 6 strikeouts. He's had 6 or more in 26 of his 27 starts this year. And he's got another one here. For the second time tonight, Spencer Strider has struck out the side. He got Smith, he got Muncy, and Peralta joins him. The 5th inning is presented by Audi. Atlanta leading 6-1. That man, Spencer Strider, 7 strikeouts through 4 innings. And sitting at 54 pitches right now in really good shape.
You take away the second inning, Lance
Lynn's only seen 10 batters and got 9 outs.
But the second inning, things unraveled. The Acuna grand slam, Austin Riley with a solo homer. Before all of that, Nicky Lopez with the bases loaded earned a walk. Weak grounder foul down the first base side.
And tomorrow night it'll be a good pitching matchup too, with Fried and Julio Urias going for the Dodgers. Two of the better lefties in the game.
And with Michael Harris, last year struggled a little bit against lefties. But this year, I think one of the big reasons he's had success, especially as of late, he's hitting .286 against lefties this season.
Yeah.
Nearly identical, .291 against righties. It hasn't mattered who's been on the hill.
Well, that's the thing that makes him so dangerous too, is Matt Olson the same way, hits lefties. So you got two of your main guys. Bring a lefty in, they don't care. It's tough to play matchups.
This ball to right center field. Outman back, and Outman will watch it go. Third home run tonight for Atlanta. 13th of the season for Michael, and the Braves have a 7-1 lead.
Again, these are the balls where he loves. Down in the zone. Watch the hits down on, and that backspin he gets on the ball. So much power. Way gone.
And this guy hit a homer off of Lynn back in that second inning. Well, what did we say? Lance Lynn is home run prone, and that's been the story.
Yeah, there's 3 of them. You know, he's given up 2 solo shots, but for him, the other one, you had a walk, hit by pitch, and a dribbler, and it cost him.
And this ball to left center will find the green grass. Austin will check up at first base. He's got 2 hits tonight, and the Braves continue to scorch Lance Lynn. And there's the call down to the bullpen.
Yeah, Mark Pryor's going to get that bullpen loose now. Again, this is all location for Lance. Look at that ball right over the middle of the plate. Michael Harris, give him credit. He went down and got that pitch. But the other home runs and base hits like that just been right there.
You normally wouldn't see a guy, though, that has given up this many homers, most in baseball, but also be top 15 in strikeouts. But as you said, the control typically for him is good. But they're very interesting numbers for Lance Lynn. And he's sitting at 96 pitches right now. Ooh. Strike zone expanding a little bit there. High in the air to right center. The park will hold it. That was a moonshot off the bat of Matt Olson.
He knew he had missed it too. Slammed that bat down. We saw Eddie Rosario do that back in the second inning.
Designated hitter Marcell Ozuna.
And now Marcell Ozuna, who's hitting .390 over his last 26 games. Takes one for a strike there. The Dodgers have been rolling along so well in the month of August that they probably are a little shell-shocked right now. As I said, 24-4 this month. The 24 wins ties a major league record for the most wins in the month of August in the expansion era. The A's in 2002 also won 24. And you've got Lynn now up over 100 pitches, 2-2 to Marcell Ozuna.
Just off the outside corner. And a walk to Marcell Ozuna. We'll see if they let Lance Lynn continue and face Eddie Rosario here.
I think that's going to be it with that pitch count up to 104. Tough to let your guy continue to go.
Dave Roberts strolls to the mound and makes the call to the pen with the Braves on top 7-1.
Spot feature of the game. Well, this never gets old. Eddie Rosario, the 2021 NLCS MVP over these Dodgers.
He's been a Dodger killer. He's reached base in 12 of the 14 games versus the Dodgers. You go back to that NLCS, man. 14 for 25 versus the Dodgers in 6 games. NLCS MVP.
And he has been a fan favorite ever since. And the man that he will be facing is Alex Vesia. 45th appearance of the season for the Dodgers.
And his last work was against the Diamondbacks the other night. Went an inning, gave up a hit, and recorded a strikeout.
His first pitch here to Eddie Rosario, grounded up the middle, but Rosario was cheating that way. And how about that? Eddie Rosario grounds into a double play to Ahmed Rosario, and just like that, we're halfway home. By Audi. 7-1 Atlanta. Well, Kelly Kroll, I think she's got a souvenir down there. What do you have, Kelly?
How do you guys like this? This is the piece of history. This is the bat Ronald Acuna Jr. used to hit that 30th home run to go with those 60-plus stolen bases. Ronald, this has already been authenticated for him. He will get to have it now, and I'm thinking he's going to hang on to this one for just a little bit, guys. I'm sure it'll end up someplace very special before it's all said and done, but I just wanted to show that off to you guys. Pretty darn cool.
Kelly, hide that somewhere and bring it
out.
I
know. Can you imagine what I could get for this, you guys? We can all retire. I'm just kidding.
But are you?
Yeah, I mean, oh, what a cool piece of history for him tonight. And what a day, like you said, getting married, and then you do the 36, seeing a granny.
And that swing changed the whole complexion of this game. It was 1-1 back in the second inning, and since then the Braves have been rolling. Spencer Strider has been rolling.
Yeah, I mean, even if he gets a base hit and say you go up 3-1, it's like as an offense you feel it. With what Strider's doing out there right now, they feel like it's going to be tough to make up 6 runs.
Hayward lines this to right. So that stops the streak. Spencer Strider had retired 12 straight until that base hit.
Number 33, James Outman.
Our great stage manager, JR, just brought 2 dogs to us here in the booth. You going to take down a dog, Jeffrey?
Dodger dog? I might have to.
I don't think that's the official Dodger dog, though. I think those are a little more special. There we go.
Not sure what the harvest of cheddar sun chips is with it, but
I'm just trying to keep you balanced. James Outman struck out last time. Spencer getting behind here, 2-0. James Outman having a great rookie year. He came to spring training just hoping to win a roster spot, and now he's an everyday guy for the Dodgers. Fouls this out of play, 2-1.
and he's a guy that you kind of feel like if he continues to improve and go, you know, he's had moments this year where he's really come up big.
Did Spencer get him? No, just missed. Yeah, Outman started the year with a bang. He was the NL Rookie of the Month in April.
Yeah.
Then he cooled off, but since July 1st, he's hitting almost 300. He's a guy you have to respect. Ooh, then he got that strike call, 3-2.
Yeah, Spencer caught a break there to get back in the count, see if he can take advantage.
Looking for his 8th strikeout. First he'll check over to Hayward. Just missed. So a single and now a walk.
Funny thing was actually that was a better pitch than the one he called a strike on 3-1.
Very interesting. Strider, the first 2 batters he faced, a walk and a single. Then he sets down 12 in a row, and now a single and a walk here to start the 5th.
You don't want to give him any life right here. You got the 2 at the bottom of the order here.
Starting with a rookie, Michael Busch. Nice pitch, weak swing, 0-1. Michael Busch debuted back in May. Played in just 23 games this year, splitting time between third base and DH. He's DHing tonight. And he hits this high in the air to right. Acuna coming in from the track to take it. Tagging from second. Hayward will get to third. 1 away.
Yeah, that ball's hit high. Busch just got under it.
I thought Matt Olson's earlier was hit high. That one was even higher.
And now here's Ahmed Rosario. When he was with the Cleveland Guardians and the Braves played in Cleveland July 3rd through the 5th, he was really a thorn in Atlanta's side. The Guardians scored 9 runs in that series, and Rosario drove in 7 of them. So far tonight, he's 0 for 1. There's a strike at the knees.
Now see right here. He'd even trade an out for a run in this situation, but now it's got 2 strikes right here. See if he can go for the strikeout.
He's got him set up 1-2, and he does strike him out. A slider from Strider. He's got 8 Ks, and there are 2 away in the bottom of the 5th.
And he sped him up with 2 heaters. Look at that. He went after it right out of his hand. That's what we talk about. Doesn't even have to be an awesome slider. Just put it on the outside corner. Let the hitter chase. Quality pitch.
And now to the top of the order, and things get tougher here with Mookie Betts. I mentioned Mookie hitting .454 in August. He also has 49 hits this month. And since World War II, only 2 Dodgers have 50 hits in a single month. Willie Davis and Jackie Robinson. It's been an incredible run for Mookie. Willie Davis did it back in August of '69, and Jackie Robinson in May of '49. Weak swing. Sean couldn't find the ball, but he does locate it. Runners stay at the corners. Well, how big would this be if he could keep this 7-1?
He just got a great swing on a really hot hitter to chase that. That was way down in the dirt. I'm saying when Spencer can get ahead like this as a hitter, you start to question yourself of how he's going to attack you. You might cheat to get to a fastball, and that's what happens when you cheat to get to a fastball. You commit, and then you swing at that.
And now the 1-2. Bounces it in there. Good stop by Sean Murphy. Dodgers down 6, trying to draw a little closer. Deuce is wild here. 2 down, 2-2 pitch. Did he go? No. Jeff, I think Ronald thought he had it for a moment.
I see that short, compact swing. It's like he just didn't get his glove up quick enough. He had a beat on it.
And it just nicked off the top of his glove, and there is life in Dodger Stadium. It's 7-4. Rick Kranitz out.
Now, if you're wondering, both guys that are 1 and 2 in the MVP race, grand slam and a 3-run homer.
I think Mookie saw what Ronald did and said, now it's my turn.
Give him credit. Swung a bad pitch, 1-1. Worked that count back to 3-2.
And a quiet crowd is re-engaged.
And as I said for Mookie Betts, he becomes the first Dodger since 1969
to have 50 hits in a single month.
Spencer's got to calm himself down. Pitch clock doesn't help.
Gets back in the zone and gets Freddie to bounce out to short. And that will do it. But the Dodgers back in it with a 3-run homer from Betts.
All right, it's time to play Cap Shuffle, presented by...
Spencer Strider trying to refocus. Still has a 3-run lead as we go to the 6th. And take a look at our GMC Making the Grade feature. So if you look at the highest winning percentage against teams with winning records, no surprise the Braves and Dodgers at the top of the list.
Yeah, and the other team there too. You look at the Orioles, Rays, probably you can argue the 4 best teams in baseball possibly. And the Dodgers in there too, but Braves are 60-26 following a win this season. So the nice thing, they've been able to get on those little streaks like that where you can reel off 4 out of 5, 5 out of 6.
Braves had a 6-run top of the second inning, but now a 3-run homer from Betts makes this game more interesting. And Sean Murphy leads off with Arcia and Lopez behind him. Alex Vesia on the mound for the Dodgers. 3rd year with the team, and he's inducing a ground ball to second here off the bat of Sean Murphy. Let's get a message now from Zaxby's.
Warning: Zaxby's Southwest Salad is not for the faint of flavor.
But for Vesia, last 2 years he was really good for the Dodgers. A 2.19 ERA combined. This year it's been a bit of a struggle. A 5.11 ERA. A couple of trips down to AAA, and when he came into the game, it looked like a low leverage situation. Now it gets a little different here.
Yeah, and I think the one thing when you've watched him the last 2 years, man, he had life on his fastball. I felt like it had another kind of gear towards it. See that as much this year. It's a little more flat.
He deals a strike there to Orlando. He was solid in the 2021 postseason, and he pitched in 5 of those 6 games against the Braves in the NLCS. Downstairs, 2 balls and a strike to the All-Star shortstop. Fouled straight back, 2-2. Well, for all the talk about what the Dodgers have done in August, the Braves not too far behind them. 20 wins this month for Atlanta. And looking to finish it tonight with a 21st win. Orlando down with a weak swing. And there are 2 away. Fans head to MLBshop.com to support the Braves into the home stretch. Jerseys, caps, t-shirts, collectibles, anything you need. MLBshop.com. Gear up with your Atlanta Braves.
Vesia showing some emotion out there, huh?
Fired up.
Yeah.
Very animated.
A double play to end the inning last time when it was a 7-1 game. Huge fist bump.
Well, he is, since getting Eddie Rosario to bounce into that double play, retired all 3 Braves he has faced, and now trying to make it 4 in a row. He's twitchy.
Jacked up on Mountain Dew.
Maybe Red Bull. Maybe both. Lefty-lefty matchup here with the Braves second baseman.
Jumping up after getting that foul ball.
It's like when you used to take that pre-workout like powder and you get the shakes.
Came with a fastball last time. There you go again. Grounded to third. Oh, an errant throw. Freddie can't get it, and Nicky Lopez gets into second base.
I mean, he just pulled that throw.
And credit Nicky Lopez. He got down the line quickly.
I put credit. Ronald Acuna actually started to walk up to the plate and then just took his stuff off and ran first.
So the intentional walk after the error by Muncy. And now the Braves with a chance to strike right back after that Betts 3-run homer.
And this is what'll drive a manager crazy, man. You get what you think is going to be an easy 1, 2, 3 inning. Now you got first and second and a guy that hits lefties at a great clip.
Harris, who had a solo homer in the 5th, but yeah, we talked about Michael's production against Southpaws this year. Much better than when he hit .238 against them last year as a rookie. .286 now here in his sophomore campaign.
And I think that's one thing you love to see. Just a young hitter like that make adjustments. We saw him through the first 2 months this year really struggle, and now the last 3 months has absolutely just turned it on.
There you go. Pretty even lefties and righties. But down 0-2 here. Oh, a little chin music. And the count evens up. Dave Roberts only got 4 1/3 out of Lance Lynn. Now his bullpen after the Betts homer trying to keep this a 3-run ball game. 2 on, 2 out. 2-2 pitch. Ground ball up the middle. Money Mike delivers. And Atlanta gets one of those runs back, and it is 8-4.
He just showed you that against lefties. Not a problem for Michael Harris after 2 strikes. Works it back to 2-2. Drops ahead on this ball right up the middle.
Third baseman number 27, Austin Riley.
For the Dodgers, they thought they had a 1-2-3 inning, but a wild throw by Muncy. That puts Lopez on. Intentionally walk Ronald, and now Harris delivers that hit, and runners at the corners, and now they have to deal with Austin Riley. Solo homer and a single tonight for Austin.
I tell you, man, this offense is good enough just to begin with, but if you give extra outs, they're going to make you pay. We've seen it all year.
Center field off the bat of Austin Riley. On the track, and it's taken in by Outman. Missing a 3-run homer, but the Braves do get one. It's 8-4.
Spencer Strider visibly very frustrated after the Betts homer. The Braves do get one of those runs back. And the bottom line, Jeff, he's got a 4-run lead here in the 6th, so hopefully he can settle back in.
Yeah, they just gave you one, tacked it back on. What happened last inning, you can't control, and this is where you want to see the maturity of him being able to turn the page and know any another shutdown inning.
His first pitch to Will Smith is fouled away. It was the first homer that Strider has given up in the month of August. Last one he gave up was July 26 in Fenway against Boston. Well, a couple of nights ago, you saw Justin Steele of the Cubs get his 15th win to tie Spencer Strider atop the Major League leaderboard in that category.
And now Spencer goes for win number 16 tonight. A line drive on an 0-2 pitch and a single for Will Smith.
Ball just kind of hung. He threw him a slider, I think. You see, the location was good off the plate, but it was up enough that Smith just kind of threw the hands at it.
And that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Max Muncy. Muncy does not hit for average, but he has power and he has patience. Hits homers and draws a lot of walks.
Yeah, you look at his OPS, it's 825. As you said, he's going to draw a lot of walks, but it's really shocked at the 207 average for him. I mean, he's a just much better hitter than that.
He has been hitting better over the last couple of weeks. There's a strike, 2-1. I noted earlier for Muncy that he's got that streak of an extra base hit in 8 straight games, and the Dodgers franchise record is 9, but Strider trying to prevent that. 2-1 pitch here. High and outside. As the 86th pitch of the night for Strider, and it makes it a 3-2 count.
See, to me, this is where it gets in the game where it's very important for Spencer to be able to throw that off-speed stuff at strikes, because velocity now all of a sudden is dipped down to 96. And so, let me tell you, the difference between 96 and 100 is massive, especially with his fastball and how it explodes out of his hand. So now it's even more imperative to throw that off-speed where you want it.
Swing and a miss. 97 that time was enough to get Muncy.
It's unlike Max to chase that one right there. There was a little too much want to in that swing.
That's the one. That's the pitch that has made Spencer Strider him. A unicorn pitch. First one to Peralta. Grounded foul. Bullpen is getting loose. Pierce Johnson, Brad Hand.
A very good bullpen.
Number 1 bullpen in the National League.
Starters grade out at number 2. The bullpen grades out at number 1.
Brad's got Johnson and Hand warming up down in the pen.
Double barrel action. Oh, 1 from Spencer. And he gets him to chase. Peralta swinging and missing at the slider, and it's 0-2. There they are. But Strider trying to make it through 6 innings here, just like each of the Braves starters did in the sweep of Colorado. 90 pitches for Strider, still 20 away from his season high. And the 1-2 is popped up. Austin back in the grass, 2 away. A message in now from our friends at Delta.
On behalf of our Atlanta-based crew, go Braves. Delta, official airline of the Atlanta Braves.
And now Jason Hayward with 2 outs, and Will Smith still down there at first base after his leadoff single. In the air to left, Eddie Rosario camps, and Strider gets through 6. And Atlanta stakes claim to an 8-4 lead. It's the Braves with an 8-4 lead. Spencer Strider, 6 innings and 9 strikeouts. Our racetrack fueling up feature tonight. The Braves have gotten 7 of their 8 runs via the long ball. They now have 253 homers. Remember, the Twins have the all-time record with 307 in 2019.
You can see all those teams in 19. Yanks, Dodgers, Astros, but the Braves with those 3 tonight, catching up a little bit, still within striking distance.
And the Braves' previous single-season record, 2019, we've talked about the baseball that year before, and it was a little bit different. And a different pitcher now. Victor Gonzalez becomes the 3rd hurler tonight for the Dodgers. Gonzalez, like Alex before him, bounced between the Dodgers and AAA this year. He's been up and down 4 times. Last recalled on August 12th.
We've said it before. This is what makes this offense so tough, though. As you can see, Cranny and Spencer Strider have been in a long conversation in the dugout.
Yeah, that's turned into a little bit of a therapy session over there. Ground ball. Matt will not be able to beat that out. 1 away. Well, for Spencer, he was frustrated with a 3-run homer, obviously, but I think he also maybe was making his case for coming out in the 7th inning.
Yeah, and I'm sure he wanted to, but, you know, with that being said, you know, you got 92 pitches, and you could almost say, look, the 5th and 6th, yeah, you know, it started to get away from him a little bit. And I think that's where Cranny can kind of tell him, too, you know, there's bigger things ahead, man. You did a great job tonight. Yeah, that 1 inning, obviously, I know you wanted that pitch back. You wanted the out and, you know, some of the walks. But, again, when you want to let him let it all out, postseason, give me 107. I'm okay with that. But now,
Marcel's 1 for 3. Hey, stay tuned for the stretch presented by Synovus coming up after 1 more out here in the 7th.
You hear Tom Glavine talk a lot about stressful pitches. And I think if you really go back, you know, first inning was a little bit, but after that he got rolling. In the last 2 innings, a little more stress on him with the pitches. And that's why I just think that, again, if he's at 85 and you say you give him 15 pitches, yeah.
Well, and Strider, Morton, and Elder all top 15 in the National League in innings pitched. We've seen the Braves sneak in an extra starter here and there. Vines yesterday to give these guys a little bit more breathing room. Well, I think it seems like the right move. Keep everybody fresh for the postseason.
Well, that, and I think if you're Snit, if you say to him, okay, you go out there, you give up 1 hit, a walk, you're coming out. Just let a guy from the bullpen, you know, whether it's Johnson or somebody come in and have a fresh inning.
Joe Jimenez has also started to loosen for Atlanta. Oh-2 to Eddie Rosario, and he bounces it foul. Nice one-handed grab over there by Matt Olson.
It's like he's getting some love in the dugout. Tell him, guys, thanks. Not a big deal.
Dodgers won 2 of 3 back in May at Truist Park. Now Atlanta trying to take the lid lifter here of a 4-game series. But they will not be able to tack on to the lead in the top of the 7th as Gonzalez sets him down 1-2-3, and we head to the stretch.
Runs, 4 hits. Strider done after 6, so that decision was made. And now Joe Jimenez is coming on for the 7th inning to face the bottom 3 in the Dodger order.
Yeah, you can see this game where it's at, even though it's a 4-run game. Smith taking no chances. He's probably going to try to, if it stays right here, run the gauntlet of Jimenez,
Mentor, and Iglesias, I would imagine.
Saw those numbers at the bottom. Joe has been lights out for the Atlanta Braves as of late. And his first nemesis is James Outman, who his teammates call Tarzan. This foul ball is going to land right on top of our head here behind home plate. Miguel Vargas, fellow rookie, gave him that nickname Tarzan earlier this year, and it stuck, and it's been with him the entire season. He has struck out and walked tonight, and now he hits this down the right field line, but it is angling foul.
And swing and a miss. Joe Jimenez taking care of Outman with a slider.
That combo has been deadly for him lately. That fastball at 94, and then that pitch, you see that he missed it by a foot. He's got good depth down in the zone, and when you're ahead in the count, it's tough for a hitter to lay off that.
And now Michael Busch. And a strike at the knees. Well, for Strider, Jeff, I know that a 3-run homer changes the complexion of the outing, but if the score holds, he gets a 16th win. Such a wide margin and a strikeout lead in Major League Baseball. What do you think of his Cy Young candidacy?
It's funny because there's really no one guy that's just like been dominant this year, you know, and Spencer has to a certain extent, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's definitely, to me, in the conversation. How can you not be?
I think he has to be. I know the ERA may be a little higher than a couple of the other guys, but when you factor everything in.
Well, and that's the thing. You factor in the strikeouts with, you know, it's definitely, if he has a good 4 or 5 starts left in the year, he's got an opportunity.
Yeah, ultimately it'll be decided in September. Deep to right field. Does this have enough? Just enough. A solo homer for Michael Busch to make it 8-5.
Yeah, that one hung a little too much. Just got enough. His first bad slider he threw.
So back to a 3-run game. Well, these two teams 1-2 in baseball and home runs hit this year, and there's been 5 between them tonight. Rosario got some new lumber after breaking his back. Oh, 2.
That's the one he wanted to throw Busch down there.
Got him. Rung up by home plate umpire Dan Bellino, and Ahmed Rosario had a quick word as he goes back to the dugout.
I don't think Dave Roberts liked it either.
I'll say this, Dan Bellino's been calling that pitch all night, though. And that's right on the edge, too close to take.
Oh, this is high and deep to left. And Eddie can't grab it.
Mookie Betts has his second homer of the night.
And it's 8-6.
Right down Broadway. I didn't know if that was going to be too high or not. Just snuck out.
There are 2 homers. Both of them just snuck out. And now here you go again. 47,000 at Dodger Stadium are back in it. Freddie Chance coming in for Freeman as he takes it downstairs 2-1.
The 2 best teams getting together. Do you expect anything else?
We've seen some fireworks. When the Braves got up 7-1, thought maybe it would be comfortable, but the Dodgers not having any part of it.
No.
But can keep it a 2-run lead here. 2 down and a 2-2 pitch. And the count full. Freeman reaches, and the potential tying run comes to the plate. Sean Murphy, a good time to go out and talk to Joe Jimenez, and Rick Kranitz is going to come out as well.
Yeah, you wondered, I think with a 2-run game there, you had A.J. Minter warming up down in the pen, but the problem is what that does sometimes is, just like we see the Braves offense do, is when you start to do it, you can kind of make a manager go different places in their bullpen. And if you bring Minter in to get that out there, say he throws 10, 12 pitches, then it's like you bring him back for the 8th. So I would imagine, though, with Max Muncy on deck, this is going to be Jimenez's last batter here. Whether he gets out of the inning or doesn't, I don't see him facing Muncy. You'd rather have that start next inning, and that way, quite frankly, if you do what you're supposed to and you get 6 up, 6 down to end it, you don't have to face Betts again in the ninth.
Will Smith represents the potential tying run. 0-1. Right in there. 0-2.
Get the feeling the way he took that pitch, he was thinking slider was coming. Snuck a good one, then passing at 96.
This one is going to stay in the park. Dodger fans got excited, but no problem for Eddie. Pair of homers, though. It's 8-6. Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Georgia Drive Chevy. By the Georgia Lottery, today could be the day. and by Delta Airlines. Keep climbing. Dodgers won the title in 2020. The Braves, the 21 champions. And these two teams on a collision course to meet in the NLCS for the third time in 4 years. And in game one of this series, Braves up 2. Here comes Shelby Miller. See at the bottom, first game since middle of June. Activated today off the 60-day IL. He had been dealing with severe neck pain. Made a few rehab appearances, and now he is back in the center of a big league diamond.
Yeah, that a nice little bounce back year for the Dodgers down in that pen for them. He said, back today.
And facing Sean Murphy. But with those two homers in the bottom of the sixth, or seventh rather, you feel like these last couple of innings are going to be a little tense.
Yeah, you'd love a tack-on run. For the Braves, if you can get Mentor and Iglesias, you got the middle and bottom part of the order where you don't have to face Betts and Freddie again if you take care of business.
Get a quick message in here from Duncan.
Dunkin' Rewards are a hit. Save them, stack them, use them how you want. Not a member? Join on the app today.
Stop number 11, Orlando Arcia.
So 3 pitches to get Sean Murphy to ground out. Now Orlando, who is 1 for 3 tonight. 14 runs in this game. 12 of them have come via the long ball. 3 for each team. And the MVP candidates, the top 2, Betts and Acuna, have not disappointed. 3 home runs between them, including a grand slam for Ronald Acuna and a 3-run shot for that man Mookie Betts. Two balls and a strike to Arcia. Ronald waiting for his next at bat.
Orlando shoots it the other way, but a diving catch from Jason Hayward.
Even though he's gotten older, still great instincts in the outfield. This was all about the jump. He was playing shallow to begin with, but when he saw this line drive, he committed to it. Nice play.
5 Gold Gloves in his career. Now 2 outs, nobody on. Bottom of the order, Nicky Lopez. Dodger Stadium has been a bit of a house of horrors for the Atlanta Braves over the last decade, with the Dodgers winning 20 of 25 head-to-head meetings here. Atlanta trying to change that narrative here in 2023. Braves jumped out to a 7-1 lead, but the Dodgers have narrowed the gap. Will Smith could not hang on to strike out Nicky Lopez. Saw Hayward make the play in right, and this guy, Shelby Miller, was traded from the Cardinals to the Braves as part of the Jason Hayward deal back in 2014. So connections for a lot of these guys to this Atlanta team. Ricky Lopez hits this pretty well to left. Peralta, though, going back, and he's got it just in front of the track. On to the bottom of the 8th.
Baseball is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. And by Synovus, #1 in consumer banking satisfaction Southeast.
We move to the bottom of the 8th, a 2-run ball game. A.J. Minter taking over. He has been extremely good since coming back from the IL in his 13 innings, giving up just the 2 runs and having struck out over double digits. And in asking him about it, he said, you know, on paper, that first month and a half was about as bad as it gets for me. But the thing was, I felt good. Felt like I was pitching well. I had Snit pull me aside, Cranny pull me aside and say, you got to just stick with this. This is bad luck. And he goes, Kelly, it was the definition of insanity. They're basically telling me just to stick with it. But that's exactly what he did, guys. And you look at what he has done since, like I said, coming off the IL, and he has been spectacular. And he goes, it's maybe one of the toughest lessons to learn. Frenchie, I thought you'd like this, is that you got to just believe in your stuff regardless of how bad it is sometimes.
Yeah, and for him, Kelly, he could draw of the numerous times he's had success in the postseason to whatever, and it's just, look, sometimes you're going to have bad months, man. Look at Marcell Ozuna the first month of the season, Michael Harris the first 2 months, and you knew AJ would figure it out, and when he did, and again, since he's come back, he's been outstanding.
And Joe Jimenez started to click, and the bullpen with those two helping to anchor it, getting to Iglesias, who has also been really good as of late. The Braves have been able to hold leads late, and they're going to have to do that again here tonight. 4, 5, 6 in the order, and it's another homer. And it's a 1-run game. The Dodgers have 3 solo homers from their last 6 hitters.
Well, that was all location. He's trying to go late. He saw Murph set up on the outside part. Muncy just tied a Dodgers record for extra base hits, and what, that's his 10th?
9th in a row. 9 straight games with an extra base hit, and now a pinch hitter in Kike Hernandez. He will step in for David Peralta.
Well, that's why a lot of the experts, I hate to say it, want to see 7 games of this.
Buckle up. Things keep getting more interesting. From 7-1 to 8-7. Chris Taylor has also grabbed a bat and moved in the on-deck circle, so we could see back-to-back pinch hitters for Dave Roberts. Right center. Nicky says he's got it, and he does. Quick message here from Georgia Drive Chevy.
The all-new Chevy Trax, starting at $21,495. Chevrolet, proud partner of the Atlanta Braves.
So as I mentioned, now Chris Taylor will grab a bat and hit for Hayward. And he fouls that pitch off. The veteran Taylor, his 10th major league season, 13 homers, 40 driven in for the Dodgers in 2023. And fresh off his 33rd birthday on Tuesday. And that got a pretty good piece of him, so they're going to make sure he's okay.
give him a minute to catch his breath. And I guess if you're AJ and you see that, man, you're going right back in there. Oh, back knee. Did that a time or two. That's when you know, man, that was a bad swing. You're not supposed to hit a ball off your back leg.
No balls and a strike.
Yeah.
AJ, well, let's see what he does here. Down and in with a cutter. Solo homers by Bush, Betts, and Muncy. And all of a sudden it's 8-7. In on the hands, 1 and 2.
See, this has been a good sequence. You came after that ball he fouled off, you came cutter in, down. Then you come 96th elevated and in.
So what would you like to see him do here, 1-2?
You know, he seems to be really comfortable coming in, but I mean, you could even do change up away right here. You've got him thinking so much in.
He goes upstairs with a cutter.
Just make it quick.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Count runs full. James Outman waits. Payoff pitch. He missed. Tying run down to first with 1 out.
And what you hate about this too, BG, is that all of a sudden now, unless there's a double play ground ball right here, you bring the 8th hitter up at least in this inning too, which turns around and lets Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman both bat in the 9th inning. But Braves too have 1, 2, 3 coming up in the 9th.
Well, there was so much hype around this series, and deservedly so. And while the Braves got up by 6, that lead has dwindled, and here we go. A lot of drama that we are set up for in the late innings. We have a lefty-lefty matchup with Outman. First pitch, soft liner and a single. Tying run at second base now.
And this is a scenario, a lot of times you'd see a pinch hitter here. You wouldn't love the matchup of the lefty Bush going against Mentor, but you've used Kike Hernandez and Chris Taylor.
Number 83, Michael Busch.
And last time up, Michael Busch, a solo homer. First pitch outside, 1-0. That one paints the corner. The veteran left-hander trying to get out of this and keep the Braves on top. AJ has been through a lot of these battles in his career. 2-2.
I like that pitch. You know, he's throwing a lot of cutters, these lefties. which I don't mind at certain times, but at the same time, man, you got 97 sometimes facing guys at the bottom of the order. Let it eat.
And facing a young rookie in just his 23rd major league game. 2-2. Struck him out. 91 upstairs in a very big second out.
Good cutter up in the zone.
And that will be it for A.J. Minter.
Yeah, with the Rowdy Rosario coming up, he's going to go to, I think, Johnson down in the pen.
Don't go anywhere. 2 outs, 2 on in a 1-run game. Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by the All-South Highway Safety Team. Play it safe, slow down. And by Georgia Natural Gas. Live the greener life. Dodger Stadium, so much rich history here, and we are seeing a really good ball game. 8-7, tying run at second base with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. Johnson is coming on here for Atlanta. Well, tomorrow, our next telecast starting at 9:30 Eastern, Valley Sports Southeast and the Valley Sports app. What is it, Jeff? Tomorrow.
It's a Friday night showdown.
Presented by
Kaiser Permanente.
Well, that should be a good one tomorrow, as we have seen a good one tonight, and a big spot here for the Atlanta reliever, Pierce Johnson.
Man, look, I love this move. 14 games with Atlanta. You see the .64 ERA. And
you weren't going to let Minter face Mookie Betts if somehow Rosario got on, so I like this move going to Johnson. And there's a pitch we've seen Rosario struggle with tonight against Spencer Strider. It was on that slider, so Johnson with a good curveball.
And here is the new Dodger coming over from Cleveland at the trade deadline, Ahmed Rosario.
And the first pitch to him is fouled out of play. Muncy with a solo homer to start the 8th. That made it 8-7. And Taylor walked. Outman singled there at first and second. Johnson fires. 0-2. He's got him set up. Curveball there that he fouls off.
Just take a clap.
Oh, 2 pitch and another foul ball.
That was interesting. Taylor was way off at it, and saw Outman was following him a big time off the base.
With how far he got from second, I thought he was going to go ahead and go to third. Of course, that's dangerous.
It is, but like you said, I feel like he was so far off and committed.
Another 0-2. Struck him out. That is huge from Pierce Johnson. Got Rosario swinging, keeps it an 8-7 game. Our T-Mobile coverage cam is Ronald Acuna hitting his 30th homer, a grand slam back in the second inning.
Yeah, what a moment. His 30th homer to go along with a 60-plus stolen bases, first guy in Major League history. You take here, look at our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud, 111 off the bat. Straight stinger, 429 to left field. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to lie to you. I wouldn't mind seeing 31 right here. We need a run. We're leaking oil.
Leaking oil a little bit. The Braves led 7-1, but now 8-7 here as we go to the 9th. Defensive changes for Los Angeles. Taylor out at left. Hernandez in at second, and Mookie Betts moves from second to right field, and Brusdar Graterol comes on out of the bullpen. 99 on the outside corner. He's got a scoreless streak, this Graterol, of 13 2/3 innings. Has not given up a run since July 24th.
Yeah, when he's pounding the zone and around there, man, he's tough. He's an uncomfortable AB.
But Acuna sends an 0-2 pitch right up the gut. A 3-hit night for Ronald.
I'll tell you this, though. I think Ronald and Mookie Betts are showing why. They're the two everybody's talking about.
Number 23, Mike Evans.
See Graterol known because now you know exactly what might be coming. You give up a single to him within a couple pitches, he's at second.
61 stolen bases. Does he have 62 in his back pocket here? But you said it, Jeff. Between Acuna and Betts, they have 5 hits. They've hit 3 homers, and they've driven in 8 runs. Michael Harris fouls this out of play, 0-2.
One advantage right now, too, though, is with Ronald at first. It's 0-2 now, but even if he gets Michael when Austin Riley comes up, he wants for that fastball. He wants to give Will Smith something good if he steals, so you can get ready for it.
And Will Smith has had trouble limiting base stealers this year. Thrown out 14 of 78. Line drive, but directly at Muncy.
Man, that's a bad break. Only one guy on really the left side with Rosario playing right behind second.
Number 27, Austin Riley.
It's a good piece of hitting.
Now Austin Riley, a homer, a single, and then he nearly hit another homer. There goes Ronald. Did he keep his hand on the bag? Yes. 62nd stolen base of the season.
Yeah, you saw Austin Riley take all the way. That's when he almost came off.
We've seen that a few times this year. How big would a base hit be here? Inside at 99. Austin, since the All-Star break, is hitting .300 with 16 homers and 38 runs driven in. That spans 44 games. Ground ball here in between Hop. Pretty nice play by Riley's counterpart at third base, Max Muncy.
Yeah, now Dave Roberts has a decision. You got Matt Olson coming up from the left side. And usually in times past you might see him put on, but Marcel's been so hot behind him.
28, Matt Olson.
You know, Matt has cooled off a little bit that I think you're going to see him pitch to him. And come up with a big hit.
Pitch to him they will. And the first one, he gets the call at the top of the zone. Pat's still sitting on that longest home run drought of the season. 15 games since he hit one. 0-2. Looking ahead to the bottom of the inning, the Dodgers will have the top of the order, Betts and Freeman, coming up. Ronald goes. Olson in the air, center field. On the track, Outman has it.
A long out sets up the bottom of the ninth drama. Bottom of the ninth. in a one-run game. As we take a look at our Verizon projected starter, game 2 of the series, Max Fried, Julio Urias. Should be another fantastic matchup between two great left-handed pitchers.
Yeah, two of the best lefties in the league locking horns tomorrow night. And again, tough matchups for both guys just because of offensively what these teams can do. And we saw it again here tonight.
Well, the stage is set. One-run game, bottom of the ninth. Raisel Iglesias coming on for his third appearance in the last 3 days.
Well, I think some people wonder it's a third game. Let me tell you, in this ball game right here, he's getting the phone and saying, I'm ready to go.
And he won't have it easy. It's Betts, it's Freeman, and it's Smith due up for the Dodgers. First pitch to right. Ronald, though, camps under it, and Braves country can take a deep exhale. One away.
Yeah, big first out.
And now Freddie Freeman. The two teams with the best records in Major League Baseball starting a 4-game set, and if this is the appetizer for the next 3 days, then buckle up.
Yeah.
Foul down the left field line.
Yeah, I like Iglesias too, staying kind of away, try to keep it down on Freddie. Worst case, single the other way.
He stays away again. It is the third time this season that Raisel Iglesias has pitched in 3 straight games. 3-1.
Freddie has singled in 4 trips. He's also walked. And he walks again. Tying run to first. And now the all-star catcher, Will Smith. And Sean Murphy calls time at the last second.
Yeah. The clock was ticking down. I don't blame them either, though, going out there to make sure they're on the same page on what they want to do and how they want to attack them. You got plenty of mound visits left, and the last thing you can do is afford to have a mix-up.
$47,600 here tonight at Dodger Stadium. And they are amped up.
Pitch count not working.
Ground ball through the left side. Freeman stops at second. And things get a little trickier.
Ball's hit good, 103.7 off the bat. You just wish that was a little more towards Riley or Arce. You might have had at least a force play second. Down that hole. Again, this is a fast infield here at Dodger Stadium.
Orlando did all he could. And now Max Muncy, who homered his last time up.
We said it earlier, he's a patient hitter. He does not chase much, as you see on the first 2 pitches.
When you do get him chases, which most time it's 2 strikes, if he gets down 0-2, 1-2, but when he gets ahead, he gets pretty particular on what he wants.
Fouled straight back. Fastball from Iglesias at 95. Inside, 3-1. A walk would load him and bring up Hernandez. Iglesias deals in the air, right center. The park will hold it. Freddie doesn't tag. A big second out.
Yeah, I'll tell you, that is a perfect time to throw the best changeup of the night on 3-1 for Rysel. The other guy's selling out, getting ready for that fastball. And he got him to hit it off the end of the bat. He knew it too, you see Muncy.
2 outs, tying run at second. A playoff atmosphere here at Dodger Stadium. And the Braves trying to hang on. 10:02 here out west, 1:02 back home in Atlanta. And a strike on the outside corner. Kike Hernandez traded back from the Red Sox on July 25th.
He'll do that every once in a while. You see that arm angle, he drops to the side, and that's a beautiful heater at 96.
And now Rysel just needs 1 more strike. Facing a guy in Hernandez who they love here in Los Angeles, and they were happy to welcome him back last month with open arms. 0-2 pitch. Struck him out. Rysel Iglesias slams the door on the Dodgers, and the Braves hang on. They take game 1 of the series 8-7. This series was billed as the biggest of the year in baseball to this point, and game 1 certainly did not disappoint.
You know, got him to expand. 2 fastballs and got him to chase off the side of the plate. What a game. And you look at the final score, 8-7, both teams with 9 hits, 7 home runs combined. I think both these teams showed you tonight why everybody wanted to see this series, but the good guys hung on by 1.
And Atlanta moves 5 games ahead of the Dodgers now for the best record in the National League. And Ronald Acuna made history tonight with a grand slam in the 2nd inning. The first 30-60 season in Major League Baseball history. And Atlanta got just enough to win game 1. And I said it, partner, but if this is the appetizer, stay tuned.
We had it the whole time. Had it in the bag. But a big win, and I'll tell you, congratulations to Ronald Acuna. What a year he's had already, but 30 home runs, over 60 stolen bases, first guy to do it, and heck, he even got married today.
He even got married this morning. Quite a day. Quite a start to the series for Atlanta. 8-7 is the final. We still have 3 more, so get ready. Tomorrow night we will join you at 9:30 Eastern. For now, stay tuned for Braves Live postgame show presented by Xfinity coming up next. For our entire crew, for Jeff Francoeur, for Kelly Troll, I'm Brandon Gaudin signing off from Dodger Stadium and saying so long, everybody.